Peace and blessings everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am Albert and this is the Ford Focus ST line. And no, it's not the ST, it's the ST line. It's like the M pack or the AMG pack, but in the world of compact cars. So this is the third generation of the Ford Focus, which started production in 1998. Now, to be precise, this is actually the facelift version of the Mark III Focus. And yes, in 2018 was replaced by the Mark IV. So this one is the last one of its kind. This car today here was offered by my friends at CarZ. CarZ are a specialized second-hand car dealership located in Ipswich. All the cars come with 6 months RAC warranty, which is extendable up to 3 years. If you want your car delivered all the way across UK, they can help you with that. If you have a low credit score and you need finance, CarZ can help you with finance as well. So check them out at carz.co.uk. Let's discuss a bit about the front end of the car. At the center of attention is the bold and eye-catching grille. It showcases a honeycomb pattern with sleek horizontal black accents, giving the car a commanding presence on the road. Positioned prominently in the center is the iconic Ford logo, emphasizing the brand's heritage. The hood is beautifully shaped, and with these lines drawn over here, seems very aggressive. Also, the headlights are sleek and angular. Now, these aren't LED or xenon. These are normal lights, but you can get different lights in a different trim level of the car. Now, this car has its all elements blacked out, which I have to tell you that they look quite good. The grille is blacked out. Even the big air intake here also blacked out. And yes, even the plastic that it's surrounding the fog lights has this beautiful gloss black finish and somehow emphasizes the sportiness of the car. Also, from the front end, you can see this front splitter here, which actually improves the visual sportiness that this car has. This car doesn't have front parking sensors because, well, it's not the high-spec full version of the ST, but somehow it looks quite good. The beating heart of this little lion over here, it's this 3-cylinder, 1-liter turbocharged petrol engine, which develops 125 horsepower, 200 Newton meters, goes from 0 to 60 in 11.3 seconds, and somehow manages to have a fuel economy of around 56 miles per gallon, which translates into 4.2 liters at 100 kilometers. Also, this car has a 6-speed manual gearbox, which somehow helps with the overall fuel consumption. So in my opinion, this engine here, it's not that bad. I know that a 3-cylinder may sound bad, but actually it doesn't. So I drove this car and I have to tell you that it's quite nippy with this little engine here. The side profile of the car is sleek and dynamic, improving the sporty character of the car. With its sculpted line and aerodynamic contours, the car exudes a sense of agility and energy even while standing still. The well-proportioned body features a sleek roofline that seamlessly slopes toward the rear, enhancing its aerodynamic efficiency. The stylish alloy wheels add a touch of sophistication to the side view of the car. Now, these are 17-inch wheels, and I have to tell you that they look quite good in this grayish paint. Right here we have the ST badge, which emphasizes even more what kind of focus you have. On the mirrors, as usual, or not as usual, but well, yes, kind of usual, we have the turn signal. There is something that catched my eye since I've seen this car for the first time, and those are the side skirts that this car has. They are very subtle, but somehow gives the car a very, very dynamic look. Overall, the side of the car is quite good looking and in my opinion stands out pretty well. The rear end of the car exudes a modern and sporty appeal. It showcases a well-defined and muscular design that adds to the car overall athletic character. At the center, the rear bumper is integrated smoothly into the body, creating a cohesive and polished look. This car has a stylish diffuser here, and it has the same honeycomb pattern as the front grille, which emphasizes the sportiness of the car as well. The rear lights are kind of strange, but they look so good and they kind of give a contemporary look to this car. Somehow they've been elongated towards the side of the car and they look stunningly good. Right here we have the focus badge, and here we have the EcoBoost to remind you that you have the EcoBoost engine, which Ford is kind of proud of that. But here is the piece of resistance for this car. I have to tell you that the rear spoiler is quite beautifully designed. Somehow reminds you of the Focus in the rally competitions. It has these two holes in here that you can actually see the sky through it. So the rear spoiler was the first thing that catched my eye when I saw this car. The rear end overall, it's quite good looking, muscular, and it emphasizes the sporty character that this car has. Overall, I do like it. Tell me what you guys think about the rear end of the Ford Focus ST line. Well, let's see the boot of the Ford Focus. Well, doesn't matter if it's an ST line or the normal SE version, they have the same trunk. So this one has 378 liters of cargo space, and if you drop the back seats, you get 1,250 liters, which I have to tell you that it's quite spacious and quite good. And to be precise, it's kind of the same amount that the Golf has. So it's quite a practical car. Now this isn't a power operated boot, so you have two latches here which you can grab, and actually latches, these are handles, and you can close the boot neatly. Hello and welcome back again. Now it's time to discuss the interior of the Ford Focus. At first glance, the car is quite spacious, quite good looking, and somehow futuristic. But if you pay a closer attention, you will notice some cheap plastics as well. But the overall interior design of the car, it's pleasant, it's nice, and somehow gives you the sensation that you are in the right place. So let's start with the positive things. First, I like the steering wheel. It's bolstered, it has a soft leather and a flat bottom over here, which emphasizes the sportiness of the car. The gear shifter has this aluminum trim and looks quite good, and it's very, very responsive. Now, also, the handbrake, it's been wrapped in leather and has this aluminum finish here, which emphasizes a state of luxuriousness and sportiness as well in the same time. One thing that I like in this car are the cup holders, which are quite good. You have two little bars over here which you can adjust the size of your cup holder. So it's quite interesting. Even more, what the engineers thought of, it's quite interesting. You have here a separate drawer. If you take it back, see the amount of space you get to place a big bottle of water or energy drinks or whatever you may drink. So it's quite interesting how they developed this. But if you want your cup holders to go away, apparently, yeah, this doesn't go further. Anyway, if you want your cup holders to go away, you just take this latch over here, pull it towards the dashboard, and voila, you don't see your cup holders. Anyway, it's quite inventive. Let's talk about the seats. The seats are sporty-ish. They are not the sportiest one, but they are sportyish. Now they have a nice pattern here and on the sides that somehow they don't let you slip out of the seats, which is quite crazy, but I do like how the seats are designed. They do have this red stitching over here to emphasize the sporty character of this car, and I have to tell you that they are quite good looking. Now these are not electrically adjustable seats, they are not heated, but I have to tell you that I do like how they were designed. Also, one thing that I like is this black roofline that actually reminds you that you are in a sporty car. Overall, the aspect of the Ford Focus, it's quite nice, and it gives you a very pleasant sensation just by being here. Now, let's go back to the negative parts. I have to tell you that even though on the dashboard you have some nice materials, you do also have some cheapish plastic in the center of the dashboard and also on the door sides. Now, I don't know why they didn't go with the material on the dashboard, because it was nicer, and the competition actually has the door sides in a softer material. These are not bad, but I have to tell you that there is some cheap plastic, so you can expect of that. This car doesn't have dual climate controls, it only has normal climate control. Right here we have the automatic off button, which is still annoying. You have a power socket, you have a USB port. Now the armrest, it's not adjustable on height, which is a shame. On here you do have another power socket, a USB plug, and this is interesting, you can place the key to recharge itself, because this car has start and stop. It doesn't have keyless entry, but it has start and stop function, which means it has keyless go, which is quite interesting. This is the key, by the way, and you can place it right here so the key can recharge itself. Let's discuss about the infotainment system, which is quite easy to use, and it's quite good looking, and it's very intuitive. Now this car has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It also has SatNav, which is, well, not new in 2023. The navigation map, it's quite good. It's very updated, and it looks quite good and modern. You have even a 3D map, which shows you even more than what you need. So let's go a little bit into the settings of this car. One thing that I do like, it's the sound system, and I know that I'm gonna make you guys crazy with the sound system, but this is something very important in a car. So yes, the sound system of this car, it's quite good. Over the general settings, you do have the distance, the language, the temperature, the touchscreen beep, which you can close this if you find it annoying, and that's pretty much it. This car doesn't have many features, but the features that it has are simple, intuitive, and very easy to use. So overall, the infotainment system of this car, it's quite simple, quite responsive, and somehow I do like it. Now let's discuss a bit about the gauge cluster, which seems modern, and I like that colored screen in the middle of the gauges. Now there are some couple of things that you can actually adjust from here. You can actually see that during the past 120 miles, this car did 35.6 mpgs, which I know it's not close to the numbers that I've said, but in my defense, this car was driven just around town. We have the trip computer 2 information, which means that it shows you the mileage you do with each key that you have. This car has 2 keys. Well, there's nothing new, but it shows you how many miles you do with each key, which is quite interesting. From settings, you can adjust the driver assist, which means the safety features. This car has traction control and hill assist, and also you can monitor the air in your tires, which is quite neat. You have vehicle settings, you have an alarm, auto engine off, and chimneys, which I don't know if I said it correctly. And if you go down here to display, you can actually see that you have the navigation information, the language, the vehicle graphic, which is a little car on the right side of the screen, the measure units, which you can adjust from here if you want your car to show you miles per gallon or liters per 100 kilometers, and the temperature unit, which it shows you the degrees in Celsius or Fahrenheit. So this is the little gauge in the middle of the gauge cluster. These are the settings that you can actually do from here, which I know it's not plenty, but they are here, and well, you can adjust some things. Overall, the gauge cluster is quite simple, and I do like how it looks, especially at nighttime with this bluish and white lights. In the rear seats, nothing really stands out except the red stitching that you have on the seats. You don't have an armrest, which is annoying. You don't have any cup holders, which the same, it's annoying. You have some storage into the door sides, and you have kind of some storage here on the side of the seats, but nothing else. And it's a little bit disappointing. Now you don't have even a power socket here or USB plug, so quite disappointing in the back seats of the Focus. I would have expected a little bit more, to be honest with you, but I have to tell you one positive thing. You have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and the seats are quite comfortable. It can take 3 adults with no effort here. The car is very spacious, and somehow it feels more spacious than it actually is. So overall, it's not that bad here. So, putting the seatbelt on, it's time to drive the Focus ST line. And yes, I know it's funny because it's an ST line, so it's not the ST, but I will get the ST soon enough, so no worries about that. And yes, so first impression behind the steering wheel of this car, I have to tell you that it's quite pleasant. The materials are good, are not the highest in the market, but they are good. I do like the steering wheel, I do like the seats, I like how responsive this car is. Even though it has a 1-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, this car is quite agile, and once you rev it up, it's gonna go, and it's gonna go quite good. Now, would I prefer a more powerful one? Well, yes, sure I do, but this one ain't bad as well. You get a good fuel consumption, you get lower taxes, cheap insurance, so overall it's quite a good engine. It's economical, it's practical, and it's not gonna break the bank when something is gonna go wrong with it. Now, you do have to service it, and trust me, you do have to service it every 10,000 miles. Change the oil. This is something that I cannot stress enough. Change the oil at every 10,000 miles, or otherwise you will have problems with these engines. So yes, change the oil. Regarding practicality and space, this car is very practical, it's very spacious. It has a lot of room for 4, 5 adults, which is good for its class. What I wanted to say, it's the fact that I don't like the plastic on the door side, but well, you cannot have them all. The steering wheel, it's quite responsive. I like that you have the keyless go option, which is quite nice. You can have your key in your pocket and you just go. Now, what's odd is you don't have keyless entry, which that would have been even better, but you don't. The infotainment system, it's simple and easy to use. The sound system is good. So overall, this is a quite good car. You can have a lot of fun with this car while driving it, and also it's not noisy at all. So you don't have a lot of weird noises inside. There's not much wind noise, there's not much road noise, and it's quite a nice, pleasant place to be here. Overall, the Ford Focus ST line, it's quite a good car. It's comfortable, it's agile, it's nippy, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So yes, I would like one. So thank you very much for watching me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Press a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. In the meantime, thank you all for subscribing and for watching my videos. A lot of new cool stuff will come around, so be sure to check out, be sure to press the bell notification so you know exactly what I'm posting, when I'm posting. In the meantime, peace and blessings to all of you. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.